Hello, my name is Liz Blake and this is day 5 of 30 Days Live, not talking about what I do, but how I go about what I do, and particularly what I'm standing for and standing against in practices, ethics and standards, and everything starts with personal standards and what we ask of ourselves. And tonight, I just want to chat a little bit about going from consumer to creator. Now that's a big shift and it's an amazing shift. But consumer, okay, so if you have a job, now there is a place for jobs, that is for sure. But when you have a job, everything is set up. The whole system is structured in a consumer type way. You know, you draw a wage or a salary, and and that pays for consuming things and investing, etc. But particularly in consumption. But that's the sort of model. Now, however, when you go into business, when you go into become an entrepreneur. Now, for instance, if you're in corporate and looking and, for instance, got some consulting experience and looking for a side gig, or something you can build nicely and replace your income. So why would you do that? Because it is an entire skill set. It is a different skill set. And, you can be senior in a corporate role and not have this skill set. But the beauty is, it just takes a little bit of application, that's all. And I've got to say, it takes a little humility to learn as well. Okay, because when you're very accomplished in certain areas and you've got to learn something new, or you set out to learn something new, it does take a little humility there, but it's got to pay off. So why have a business? Well, there's some very practical things like tax control. The tax systems, in brief, the systems are made by people in business for people in business, when you get right back to it. Okay, tax control, like, we haven't always been taxed. That's a relatively recent invention. But for tax control, for risk, so that you mitigate your risk with whatever happens at work, you've got something to fall back on, or you are not reliant on those systems. And there is a slavery, I'll talk about that another day, element, but I'll do that another day. But also personal growth. So there's security, so what would be perceived as insecure being in business can be this place of security. It can be. And great personal growth. It is a skill set, and it's not just a skill set of your mind, it's a skill set of your heart as well. But generators, people who learn how to generate, how to create, and they can succeed. We can succeed in all conditions. We can face adversity, we can adapt and change, we learn these things, and we get free from the machine. Now, even if a person stays in the machine, in their job, in their corporate role, there is a great sense when you've got your own business, say on the side, there is, you're developing that. It actually adds more joy to what you're doing in your job, or more inspiration, because you've got something that you're building that you truly believe in, and that is drawing the best from you and actually allowing you to fully express your skills and help other people in doing that. So going from consumer to creator to generator is a very powerful way of positioning yourself. And if you are already an entrepreneur and you have a product and you're working with something, your next thing will be to look at, well, how can I do this in a smarter way? And then that gets into what I do. Thank you for joining us.